What's up, rockers?
Hey, I'm Kaz.
And I'm Shay. Welcome to another episode of For the Record with Kaz and Shay. Kaz, we're on location today. Where are we?
Fat and bloated. We are inside, actually.
I mean, that happens every time. We're always fat and bloated, but we're extra special fat and bloated today because...
So we are at Slim's Last Chance Saloon and the Pig Iron restaurant, owned by Celeste and Mikey here.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and thank you for feeding us.
Our
What an
pleasure.
amazing day. So
we were test dummies today for his food, which was very cool.
yeah.
And by the time this episode's out, everyone will know how amazing it is because they're going to be having their grand opening April 11th.
Yes, for a Pig Iron.
For Pig Iron.
Yeah.
Reopening.
Yeah, Slim's has always been a favorite of ours. We've been coming here for a long time. It's one of our favorite places to come pre-shows for shows we see in Seattle, and we love this place. We spent some time taking photos and videos of Slim, and you guys opened Slim. When did that officially open?
2008, probably about now, like spring 2008.
And so what makes one decide, let's open a bar? How do you get to that point?
That is a hell of
Well,
a
we
good
started
question.
with Pig Iron, and they're right next door to one another. So we were at Pig Iron doing our barbecue thing, and then the building next door came available.
We kind of waited. There was I'm not sure what it was. There was a little restaurant over there, and I kind of knew they weren't long for the world. And so we kind of waited till the lights went out, and then the owner, it was the same owner of both buildings. And so at that point, one day when it just finally shut down, I called her up and went, so, hey, do you think we can lease next door? And we had talked about a bar prior, kind of saying if that ever comes up, we'd love to have it. So
And do live music.
Yeah.
it just kind of worked out.
And then I've heard Kaz tell stories about you guys scouting other bars and sort of like, what do we like about bars and what we don't like?
It's like you say, when you're going to go open
I
a
don't
bar,
know if
you kind of have
scouting
a...
is, or just going out and drinking a lot.
Well, that's fine. I mean, hey.
Or scouting.
Yeah.
I like to call it for, tax purposes, scouting. But, we spent a lot of time in Austin, Texas. I was down there before coming back to open the Pig Iron Barbecue and called that kind of my college of barbecue knowledge. Like I worked at several barbecue joints to learn the real way to do things. And so, Austin back in the 90s had such great, bars. I don't know, I haven't been there in a while, but I kind of looked at a lot of those places. Like if I opened a bar, I'd kind of want to follow some of these, methods of, just really cool stuff.
And, I just to say being in Austin is a great template to use for something up here that has a lot of good music. Doesn't have the best barbecue, but you brought that. You brought that whole knowledge, and you have created such an amazing. I mean, it's known. You've been diners, drive-ins, and dives. Colin Farrell's a big fan. Every time Billy Gibbons comes up here, he's in here. So the whole food process. So you have the idea for the bar and stuff, and now you got the venue with music. How did all the food ideas come about? Because you guys have some of the most best creative food.
I think there was several ideas that landed at Chili, but there was several things we tossed around, and now I can look back and kind of go like, "Oh, that was a stupid idea." Like the things we didn't use, but I think it was also trying to kind of simplify because barbecue seems a little complicated in a way, and we were trying to make it a little more cut and dried and a little easier, stripped down menu. And so somehow, through the various ideas we had, we landed on chili, and it just was kind of like, I think that'll work, So kind of threw it out there and went with it. And weirdly enough, I think the first week I was going, oh, this is a big mistake because it seemed really a slow start.
Right.
Oh God, no one's getting it. And then, a couple weeks later, things started to move forward.
It was weird, too, because Pig Iron had always been, like, the baby, and then Slim sort of engulfed it, and then it was almost Slim's was this entity, and Pig Iron was an afterthought,
Right.
when it's just how we
Redheaded
had started.
stepchild.
Exactly, right.
Oh, and you guys have Pig Iron, too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which now the reason we came up here today is we're going to have a grand opening of Pig Iron.
Yes.
And like I said at the beginning, we were kind of guinea pigs for your food and blown away.
Well, and thank you not for the blown away part, but thank you for being here as guinea pigs.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't keep eating this stuff. I have to go to a boot camp soon.
Yeah, and like I say, you have come up with something again. Like your chili is known; it's been talked about nationwide. I mean,
Thank you again.
it is like notoriety. You had what was that experience with Guy Fieri and Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives?
That guy is kind of polarizing. He's kind of a love or hate thing. And how was that whole experience?
It was exactly that.
Yeah.
It was a love-hate thing. First of all, I don't really do camera stuff. Like it's hard for me to do that, but I knew we couldn't refuse when the offer came. So it's like, I guess, I'll do it. And, all said and done, it went well, and it was a wonderful thing for us. And it was early enough, I think within the first 6 months, that kind of helped grow us quickly, and thank God. That said, though, it was 3 days, I think, for 20 minutes. So kind of a tedious experience, but well worth it. And honestly, he's a pretty nice guy. He has a lot of the same shirts on a rack that I got a spot here, and it's like shirt guy.
Well, good things he wears his sunglasses on the back of his head. He never gets those dirty.
Yeah, you have ruined me to eat chili anywhere. I will not eat chili. It's so good. So there's many things I love about this bar here. No TVs. That's amazing. You come in, you got to talk to people, and there's no distracting games. Even though we're a couple miles up the road from Quest Field and Safeco Field, you come in here and you hang out, you listen to some music, and you just be with each other.
We've had a lot of people, and good friends kind of go like, "Oh, why don't you have TVs?" Because that's not what we're just not going to do it. And we made a conscious decision at the beginning, like, nope, we're not having that. Just music. And what about just the game?
How about conversations with other people?
Exactly.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
all carry, social media,
Yeah, if you want to watch the TV, you can do it at the bar.
exactly.
Right.
Not
Exactly.
my problem that you don't want to talk to anyone, but I feel that it does that too. I feel like that people, end up conversing with the dude next to you, and being a good thing.
So we got the food, we got the environment, and then it's a venue. We have beautiful outdoor seating. Many great bands. The Dusty 45s, the Sonics, Duff McKagan's played here, Bloodshot Bill. It's got that cool vibe. You guys have, it's a place inside for the wintertime for shows. Outside it's a hoot with the setup out there. And we have, people will be able to see the videos and stuff that we filmed today. You guys are busy. I mean, it's so neat to see, people can only usually just focus on a restaurant. That's it. But you guys really well rehearsed in all of this.
All this
successful.
gray.
Yeah.
All this gray
And
is
Celeste, so you handle all the bookings for it. When do you find time for that?
Yeah, there's no time for anything except for it's like all the biz.
yeah, it's pretty consuming.
Yeah.
And we've had, bookers come and go. And, might go good for a little bit, and then it's kind of like they might veer off course of kind of what, we kind of have a game
I
plan
think
of what we
also
like.
they get overwhelmed, which is interesting because it's
Yeah.
like
One
we're
job.
wearing like a million hats, and it's like that little hat's overwhelming.
Yeah. And then, Celeste will take back over, and all of a sudden you see it get right back on track, and the shows are just better. There's also kind of, knowing the bands and the people and what bands in town to kind of should be together is a thing that
Right.
you can't really teach someone that unless they've been
Well, it
around
helps
it.
that Michael's a musician too, and,
Right.
and has built a relationship with these bands over the years too. and you can throw him in on a bill.
How
I'd
many
throw myself in on.
how many shows, events do you guys average a year? I mean, you guys book 300 days
Weekends
a year?
only, so
Week-
it's Friday,
okay.
Friday and Saturday only,
Okay.
and which is plenty. Sometimes in the summer we'll throw in Thursdays, and
Or
if a
Sunday.
touring act comes through whenever, a Tuesday or whatever, if it's worthwhile. But we try to, just keep it Friday and Saturday, and because it's kind of a restaurant bar and then a venue. You know what I mean? It's not just a venue. We try to keep it just
A location, being in a commercial area is nice because that's not going to disturb anybody in that line of work. So you don't have to deal with residentials and stuff
That's
like
what's
that.
great about here. We can
Yeah.
get super loud. We had Zeke out there on the outdoor stage. You can hear it for, miles.
Yeah, and we were told early on, while building it, like you can't have outdoor music. And Seattle, and I went, well, we'll find out, I guess.
Right.
And we did just kind of throw it and if they come shut us down, we'll figure that out. And it worked. And because the industrial area
Yeah,
that we're
exactly.
in, thank God.
Yeah. Whose idea was it to turn the back of a truck into your stage?
Well, we had a guy that was helping us do the build out in Slim's, and I looked at it and I said, "All right, we got to build a stage outside. How much is that going to cost?" And he threw out a number, and I went, "Yeah, nope." And because we were kind of running out of money by the time we were getting close to opening, and so I was like, "Well, let's figure out what we're going to do here." And then we just started looking around in the paper, and I found a flatbed truck and went, okay, well, that's half the price of the stage. Went out and got it, drove it from Beaverton, Oregon, all the way home smoking.
Yeah, but you forgot the best part. Like when we were looking at it to buy it, he got up on the back, stood like he was on stage, like, it'll do. And the guy was like,
I was like,
Singing
what,
flat out.
what are you doing? What are you doing with this? And I'm kind of like, air guitaring, going, yeah, I think this will work.
Had your mental plats out,
Yeah.
like drum set here.
And then we drove it from Beaverton, Oregon, all the way home. She followed me. We had to pull over a couple times and pour oil in it and keep moving. We got it here and pulled it in. We had kind of a ranch gate, pulled it in, and it was about 100-point turn to get it where it is now. And that was threw the keys in the garbage.
Yeah, it's not
Called it a
moving.
day.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Well, no, I was just going to say, we often come here before shows. I mentioned that. But we bring so many people along with us. And I think, to a man, every single person we've brought here, they love this place.
And they repeat customers.
And,
Well, thank you, guys.
we love the brisket chili over the jalapeno mac and cheese. And, you got to order this. And people, when they do, they love it. But anything they order on the menu, they absolutely love. And I've brought a group of coworkers here, and I've never been to a place where everybody is loved. Oh, sorry, you guys, it was an off night today. The staff was in a shitty mood, and it wasn't great. This place hits every time, and I love
You
it.
guys have built your whole staff, and that's really important. I mean, you guys know, being in this industry and lasting this long, your service is second to none. Your staff is always friendly. Everybody's always great. And it's kind of cool version. You walk in and it's just neat when you get acknowledged by the staff when you walk in. You're like, wow, me? But that's the nature of how awesome you guys are and how you run this place. That's what brings people back in my book.
That means a lot, too.
Yes.
It really does. And kind of all we've ever hoped to do is just that. And
Yeah.
lucky enough, too, to have staff that's been with us for, long term.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, and speaking of staff, if anybody likes punk rock, they love seeing Dwayne from the Derelicts at the front door. If you're lucky, he might grab you in the junk. How many times has he done that to you? More times than you want to
Unlucky.
remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Twice today so far.
They're going to have to get a human resources department.
Yeah. We need an HR guy stat because it's getting old.
Yeah. So, but we're now, here we're sitting on the pig iron side. So you have come up with something that's I've never seen before. And like I said, we were the tasters for it today. I've never been like instantly mind blown by something, and just knowing that it's never been thought of. You want to tell us what we're going here for with the pig iron?
Well, from 19 years, I believe 19 years as a barbecue joint, closed during COVID, and to date, just starting to reopen. We also have a project. This is part of the long-winded story, but we also have a project going on in California. So to do barbecue again kind of required me being here, to kind of oversee it. It's not everyone can just,
Right.
whoop out barbecue. And knowing that I have to kind of travel back and forth, we thought we needed to simplify the concept and maybe change the tune. And so we just kind of came up with a simple like burger concept, let's just make burgers but really good, the best you can do. And to keep the name Pig Iron, I said, well, why don't we try like just doing a pork burger on the menu amongst the others? And Celeste thought it was a good idea. So we tested it, and I made one, took it next door to Slim's. We both sat down, took a bite, and I think we both just looked at each other and went, what's going on here? And at that moment, I just went, this is the thing. A pork burger. Pig Iron made sense. And dang it, they are pretty damn tasty, huh?
John, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try this delightful concoction here. It was just whipped up for us. Top secret food. Nobody's tried this other than the owners of this fine establishment. Wow. That relish, those jalapenos, those pickled jalapenos.
Celeste came back and said, how do you like it? And the thing that got me was it's not textured like pork.
Right.
And
I think the first thing I heard was someone thought it was going to be weirdly textured.
Right. And
I
it's
thought that, yeah.
so amazing. It's so hard to describe, and that's why we're kind of excited to like let people know that this is the first of its type. I've never seen one anywhere. And then the selections that you have come up with. The very first one we tried was a jalapeno.
It was the Texas heat.
The Texas heat.
Yeah.
And you make everything from scratch. You make your bacon, you make your ham, you make all of this.
Yes.
When we'll have a video of your amazing smoker.
Yeah, still having access to the smoker that you can't get out of the building.
Right. Yeah. You had to rip a wall down to get that in. And
it's like, well, we still got to use it. So we've always kind of made our own bacon, cured and smoked, and then hams. I was starting to experiment with hams prior, and so all of a sudden that just played into this, especially like super pork theme.
Right. And I can't tell you how good.
Yeah, I told Celeste, I'm like, you ever eat something and you want to cry? Like, it was really that good.
Yeah.
Whatever you do to the jalapenos, which you do in house,
Yeah.
those were, oh my God, they were so good.
So we make those sweet pickled jalapenos, and kind of started out as a chili topping, and then we thought about using it on a burger, and then found that if we kind of
Make it into more of a relish.
process it into a relish, and that with the bottom is a jalapeno scallion mayo, like roasted jalapeno scallion mayo, then the sweet pickled jalapenos, then cheese, and pepper jack cheese. So it's got 3 different kinds of.
It was great. It was
Then
amazing.
the pork patty, and then crispy onions.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the crispy onions.
Yes, the crispy onions are great. And then the second one we had was called a hamburger, which the ham that you make was topped with that, and whatever that glazes you do with it.
The maple
You
bourbon
can't
glaze.
you can't disclose your secrets here. I know, but just the knowledge, and I mean, how many it's like just blows me away how your taste buds are so spot on.
Well, I'm a ham guy. Like I love ham, and so for holidays and stuff, we'd always get a ham and bourbon maple glaze.
Yeah.
I'd always kind of do a bourbon maple glaze on it. and then it was that came up. I don't even know how weirdly. I don't know if you brought it up.
I don't know. It just the whole thing sort of organically came together.
Yeah,
Like, and then
oh,
it's
put the
just like
glaze,
so,
let that
so
caramelize.
good.
Yeah.
And it's just delicious because it has that little bit of sweetness. It has a little, it's so good.
Everything has been kind of accidental.
And
Well,
it's
and I
just,
think also too, like the minute that he figured out, wait a second, we're doing pork burgers. Like we went home that night and I couldn't type his ideas fast enough.
It all
He
flooded
was
out.
like, he had that whole menu in one
We did
evening.
it in a night.
Like,
Wow.
I
Created
was
the whole
like,
menu in a
how
night.
did like
Once
it-
we-
talk about as soon as you're inspired, it was just like
yeah.
Yeah, once we figured out that the pork burger thing was a thing, and I have never seen it either. I don't,
No. And
so
like,
that was is this, people going to think we're just lost our minds? Or is it as good as we think, right?
it
And
is as
sometimes
good
I
as
need-
you think. And it's amazing. Like, people probably before really didn't like put the chili, brisket, macaroni, and cheese together or with grits.
Yeah.
And to be innovative like that, that's the risk you take on trying something that like you absolutely knocked out of the park with this. And I think it's going to catch on
Thank
really.
you. And every time I do something like that, I usually think like, no one's going to get it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
we'll be rewriting the menu tomorrow.
that's a really good point too. What you said about the chili, because I had forgotten. It's been so long since we opened, but back when we opened that, usually you put it on like plain rice or plain pasta. That's what chili would go on. And Michael was like, nope, we're putting it on something that tastes good on its own, and that is something that's a little different than what everyone else does.
Yeah, people would use it as like filler, like put it on pasta.
Yeah, just plain boring
because
pasta.
Yeah.
straight meat chilies,
Right.
all protein, kind of
Exactly.
spendy. So yeah, but yeah, no, it simply has just been like, I don't know. Yeah, let's give it a shot, and
Yeah.
and then we look at each other and go,
So
Yeah.
when's the best time to like be creative and plan a menu when you're super hungry? Like, oh God, this sounds great, that sounds great, or when you've had a couple of cocktails, you're feeling good. When is the perfect?
super hungry with a couple of cocktails,
The combination.
All of the
Yeah.
above.
Yeah.
For
which
me,
I'm not right now because I just ate a burger.
For me and
So-
Kaz, that's at home with our microwaves. Let's
Yeah.
frozen burrito with nacho cheese and
Oh, sriracha mayo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here
You
we
guys
go.
are hired. You need a cooking job.
Yeah. And like I say,
Gas station?
it's been really cool because Billy Gibbons, my probably favorite guitarist of all time,
My hero.
has taken a liking to this place. So every time he's in town, I always see pictures of him hanging out with you guys. This is his joy of Seattle.
Mind blowing to me because honestly, like before even I stopped shaving, my guitar hero, and weirdly enough, the original Pig Iron before Slim's was even there, I had heard a rumor that he was vegetarian. So the fried green tomato sandwich that's going to be on this Pig Iron menu, I made up thinking, and I remember telling her, well, when Billy Gibbons one day
And I
comes in
laughed.
as a joke,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like
I
when
was
Billy
like,
Gibbons,
oh, yeah, good one.
we'll have a fried green tomato sandwich for him. He's not vegetarian, by the way,
Okay.
but I had heard that, and so we made that up just for him, and then he ended up coming around. It was like, oh crap, my joke came true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing, beside the music too, you guys also, like I say, with the area you're in on the weekends, roads are pretty free, and you guys do the Greaseball Festival.
Yeah.
All the rat rods coming to town, and you guys really like just cool part of the community, and it's very neat to see all these events that you guys throw, and it's kind of neat seeing all those rat racers and hot rods lined up, and that's kind of a fun event too.
Yeah, we're just happy to be able to, the Georgetown in general, even though we're kind of off of what, most people think the Georgetown Strip is, I think, since we've kind of been out here for years when we first bought a house out here, I've always loved the area. And
Yeah.
I think we got lucky to kind of get this weird industrial spot.
Right.
And it just kind of worked out to be where we could do music and kind of throw hot rod things and no one kind of cares,
Yeah.
We got lucky we could be in a different spot. and
Great.
none of this would happen.
Yeah.
So, of all the music shows you put on, do you have some favorite ones that really stand out? Like, that was my favorite show, or a couple that you would think of.
I have a lot of them.
Okay.
Because we've been really fortunate to have like heroes of ours come play here, which I just never would have imagined. Wanda Jackson, John Doe, Sleepy LaBeef before he passed away, rockabilly legend Sleepy LaBeef from the 50s, the Blasters, Phil Alvin Blasters. Dave Alvin comes to town. He stops by the Pig Iron when he comes to town, which is, just makes me want to cry.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, just,
Well, and Mudhoney, we've got Duff McKagan's played a few times, which has been amazing.
Reverend Horton, he did a couple
Reverend
years
Horton,
ago.
With
and
Dale
then also
Watson.
Dale Watson, yeah.
together. It's just, I feel very fortunate because,
Yes.
and Peter Case is
On-
coming.
He's coming.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
the Sonics played.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sonics.
the
Oh my
Sonics.
God,
So that
yeah.
was a rainy night. That
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
crazy.
Break out the tarps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just feel really fortunate because I don't think we expected this. It was just like local shows.
Right.
And then we've just been very fortunate to have it grow to be
Yeah.
a bigger thing and just have
Well, I think obviously, the success is really based on you guys here and like the environment that you created with this. Like I say, every staff in there, and that trickles down to the customers that go in there. All the people are in there, they say hi to you. It's just a friendly place to be, and it's just really that culture that you guys created with being who you guys are.
Yeah, you guys set out really a high bar for hospitality and customer
I'd
service.
love to take credit for my awesome employees, but I can't.
But you have
thank you.
amazing, employees and stuff, and it's just a testament of how you guys have successfully run this business.
Thank you very much.
But we don't really have much else to say. We don't want to take too much of their time. But we are encouraging people. We're going to have you guys are going to have the grand opening at Pig Iron, April 11th.
April 11th, Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. So I would encourage anybody who wants to try these new pork burgers. You're going to have your mind blown. Come on out. John and I are going to be out here. We're going to do photos and we're going to interview people on how they liked it. And we're going to get the input.
Me and Mikey will hide in the bathroom.
Yeah, they'll hide. But we're going to bring this
I'll
on
be in the
ourselves.
walk-in.
Yes. And then, like I say, you guys will definitely be in for a treat. And it's located just to the left of Slim's Last Chance Saloon, right off First Avenue, Seattle.
Georgetown, lovely Georgetown.
It
Yeah.
is. And I'm Mikey. I'm kind of like, know that you don't like cameras, and to have you sit here and tell us these cool stories, I can't express how thankful.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
quick
Thank you
question,
guys
though.
very much for coming
Did
down.
Billy
Yeah.
Gibbons say, "Love the food, you're gonna have to grow a beard"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was. I didn't do this on my own. I was instructed.
I thought
The
so.
next time I come back, you better have a beard.
I thought so.
Or
Well, shit, let's wrap it up. But it's been a really fun day. I think we've been up here like 4 or 5 hours just hanging out. And it's been
fun.
so awesome. We're so thankful that you would let us come and do this and feed us. And it's been an amazing day. So
All right.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
Let's eat.
We're gonna wrap it up. So I'm Kaz.
And I'm Shay. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
watching
guys.
another episode of For the Record with Kaz and Shay. Come at Slim's and the Pig Iron. It's awesome. See ya.